Medieval armies carried no supply trucks, no field kitchens, no refrigeration. Just 7 battle foods that fueled warriors through week-long sieges. These war rations decided who lived, who died, who conquered empires. 1. Salted pork. Salted pork preservation involved elaborate curing processes that transformed fresh meat into long-lasting protein sources capable of sustaining armies. Through extended campaigns without refrigeration, the process began with selecting high-quality pork from well-fed animals, ensuring proper fat distribution that enhanced flavor while providing preservation benefits. Salt curing utilized coarse sea salt applied in thick layers that drew moisture from meat tissues through osmotic processes. Curing chambers maintained consistent temperature and humidity levels that promoted proper preservation while preventing harmful bacterial development. The curing timeline typically required several weeks of salt exposure, followed by air drying periods that concentrated flavors while completing dehydration. Final preparation included wrapping cured meat in cloth or packing in barrels with additional salt layers that prevented contamination during transport. Cooking required soaking to remove excess salt, followed by slow preparation methods that restored palatability, while maintaining nutritional benefits essential for combat performance. Point 2. Honey cakes. Medieval honey cakes combined honey, flour, and spices into energy-dense treats that provided immediate glucose for combat, while boosting warrior morale through sweet flavors. Preparation required heating honey to specific temperatures that maintained natural enzymes. While achieving proper consistency for mixing with dry ingredients, spice additions included cinnamon, ginger, and nutmeg that enhanced flavor while providing antimicrobial properties that extended storage life. The mixing process required careful temperature control to prevent honey from crystallizing, while ensuring even distribution throughout the batter. Baking occurred in controlled conditions that created proper texture, firm enough for transport, but soft enough for easy consumption during battles. Wrapping techniques utilized oiled cloth or leaves that protected cakes from environmental contamination while preserving freshness. The final product provided rapid energy absorption, essential for maintaining blood sugar levels during intense physical combat, while offering psychological benefits through familial, comforting flavors that reminded warriors of home. 3. Ale and beer. Medieval military brewing created alcoholic beverages that served dual purposes as safe hydration sources and caloric supplements when clean water was unavailable in battlefield conditions. Brewing began with selecting quality grains, typically barley, wheat, or oats, that were malted through controlled germination processes that activated enzymes necessary for fermentation. Boiling with hops or other herbs provided antimicrobial properties that prevented spoilage, while adding flavors that masked unpleasant tastes from poor-quality water sources. Fermentation utilized wild yeasts or carefully maintained starter cultures that converted sugars into alcohol, while producing carbonation that further inhibited bacterial growth. The brewing timeline required constant monitoring to achieve proper alcohol content strong enough for preservation. The final product provided essential calories, B vitamins, and minerals while ensuring safe hydration in environments where water sources were contaminated or unreliable. Point 4. Cheese wheels. Medieval cheesemaking created aged wheels that provided concentrated protein and fat, while developing protective rinds that enabled long-term storage without refrigeration in military supply chains. Production began with selecting high-quality milk from healthy animals, ensuring proper fat content that contributed to both nutritional value and preservation characteristics. Curdling processes utilized natural rennet or acidic substances that separated milk proteins into solid curds and liquid whey. Pressing involved applying controlled pressure over extended periods that expelled excess moisture while creating dense texture necessary for aging. Salt applications during pressing enhanced flavor development, while providing antimicrobial properties that prevented harmful bacterial growth throughout the aging process. Aging occurred in controlled environments with specific temperature and humidity conditions that promoted beneficial mold development while preventing harmful contamination. Final products offered complete protein profiles with essential amino acids required for muscle maintenance during extended military campaigns. 5. Pemmican. Medieval pemmican mixed dried meat powder with animal fat and berries into ultra-concentrated nutrition blocks. Warriors started with lean venison or beef, dried it over fires, then pounded it into powder. Hot rendered fat was mixed. With the meat powder in precise ratios, the mixture formed compact blocks that provided complete nutrition, including proteins and fats. Properly made, pemmican stayed edible for years while delivering maximum calories per pound carried. This superfood enabled armies to move fast without supply trains, giving them huge tactical advantages during rapid strikes deep into enemy territory. 6. Dried. Peas represented medieval armies' primary plant-based protein source, prepared through systematic dehydration processes that concentrated nutrients while eliminating spoilage risks. Harvesting occurred at peak maturity when peas reached maximum protein content. Fresh peas were removed from pods immediately after harvesting to prevent moisture loss and nutrient degradation. The drying process utilized wooden frames covered with cloth that allowed air circulation while protecting from direct sunlight. Peas were spread in single layers and turned regularly to ensure uniform dehydration. Storage involved sealed containers or cloth bags treated with natural preservatives that prevented insect infestation. Preparation for consumption required extended soaking to restore moisture, followed by prolonged cooking that softened tough exteriors while maintaining nutritional integrity. The cooking process often involved combining dried peas with salted meat or vegetables to create hearty stews that provided complete amino profiles essential for muscle maintenance during extended military campaigns. 7. Hardtack, biscuits. Medieval armies created rock-hard biscuits using flour, water, and salt that lasted months without spoiling. Bakers removed all moisture through multiple baking cycles, creating biscuits so tough they needed soaking before eating. These concentrated carbohydrate blocks weighed less than bread while providing sustained energy for combat. Production teams made thousands daily, storing them in waterproof containers. The result? Portable nutrition that kept warriors fighting when fresh food ran out. Why hardtack was essential. Hardtack represented the backbone of medieval military logistics because it solved the fundamental problem of feeding large armies over extended periods without spoilage. Unlike fresh bread that lasted mere days, hardtack remained edible for months or even years when properly stored, eliminating the need for constant resupply operations that left armies vulnerable to enemy attacks. The concentrated carbohydrates provided immediate energy for combat, while the compact size allowed soldiers to carry substantial nutrition. Military strategists recognized hardtack's importance in siege warfare, where armies might remain positioned for months while attempting to starve enemy fortifications into submission. Pemmican's strategic value. Pemmican provided unmatched nutritional density that enabled rapid military movements while maintaining warrior strength. During critical campaign phases, when speed determined victory or defeat, the concentrated calories per pound ratio allowed armies to carry weeks of complete nutrition without the supply trains that slowed movement and revealed army positions to enemy scouts. Cavalry units particularly valued pemmican because it provided the high-energy nutrition necessary for both riders and their mounts. During reconnaissance missions or rapid strikes deep into enemy territory, the complete protein profile ensured warriors maintained muscle mass and strength during extended combat operations, preventing weakness that plagued armies surviving on grain-based rations alone. Dried peas. Military importance. Dried peas provided essential plant-based proteins that prevented malnutrition diseases common in armies, surviving solely on meat and grain. Rations for extended periods. The amino acid profile complemented meat proteins to create complete nutritional packages that maintained warrior health during campaigns, lasting months or years without access to fresh vegetables. Military physicians recognized that armies consuming dried peas showed significantly lower rates of scurvy, digestive problems, and general weakness that plagued forces lacking proper nutrition balance. The cooking versatility allowed camp cooks to create varied meals that maintained troop morale while providing consistent nutrition, regardless of available ingredients. Salted pork. Campaign significance. Salted pork provided the primary protein source that maintained warrior strength and aggression. During extended military campaigns where fresh meat was unavailable or unreliable, the high protein content supported muscle maintenance, essential for wielding heavy weapons. wearing armor, and maintaining combat effectiveness throughout prolonged engagements. Fat content provided concentrated calories necessary for sustaining physical exertion during long marches, siege construction, and combat operations that demanded peak physical performance. Military campaigns often lasted entire seasons, making preserved meat essential for maintaining army nutrition when fresh hunting was impossible due to enemy presence or depleted local game populations. The familiar taste provided psychological comfort that boosted morale during difficult campaign conditions, helping maintain fighting spirit when warriors faced hardship and uncertainty. Salted pork's reliability made it crucial for siege warfare, where armies might remain positioned for months while attempting to starve enemy fortifications into submission. Strategic value extended to naval operations, where preserved meat was essential for long voyages required to transport armies across seas or along rivers to reach distant battlefields. The concentrated nutrition allowed military planners to calculate precise supply requirements for specific campaign durations, enabling better logistics planning that often determined overall military success. Honeycakes, importance honeycakes, served crucial psychological purposes that maintained warrior morale and fighting spirit during the most challenging aspects of medieval military campaigns. The sweet taste provided immediate sensory pleasure that contrasted sharply with the harsh realities of combat, offering psychological relief that helped warriors cope with stress and trauma. Distribution of honeycakes before battles became a ritual that created positive associations and confidence boosts that enhanced combat performance through improved mental state. The quick energy absorption provided immediate blood sugar increases that enhanced alertness and reaction times. During critical combat moments, when split-second decisions determined survival, military commanders recognized honeycakes as valuable tools for rewarding exceptional service, celebrating victories, and maintaining unit cohesion through shared positive experiences. The connection to home and civilian life helped prevent the psychological breakdown that often affected warriors during extended campaigns far from familiar environments. Special occasions like religious holidays or victory celebrations featured honeycake distribution that created memorable shared experiences, binding military units together. Strategic timing of honeycake distribution could influence army mood before critical battles, negotiations, or other situations where psychological state significantly impacted outcomes, making these simple treats powerful tools for military leadership. Ale's battlefield relay served multiple strategic functions beyond simple nutrition, providing safe hydration that prevented disease outbreaks that could devastate military forces more effectively than enemy weapons. The alcohol content killed harmful bacteria present in questionable water sources, making ale consumption safer than drinking from unknown wells or streams that might carry disease. Caloric content provided substantial energy supplementation that supported extended physical exertion required during combat operations, siege construction, and long-distance marching. Social aspects of ale consumption created bonding experiences that strengthened unit cohesion and maintained morale during difficult campaign conditions. Mild intoxication effects helped warriors overcome natural fear responses that could paralyze decision-making during combat situations. Though careful, regulation prevented impairment that would compromise fighting effectiveness. Medical applications included using ale to clean wounds, dull pain from injuries, and provide comfort to wounded warriors who might otherwise succumb to shock or despair. Strategic distribution before battles could enhance warrior courage and aggression, while shared consumption after victories reinforced positive associations with military service. The brewing process could be established in semi-permanent camps, providing ongoing production that reduced dependence on supply lines while creating valuable trade opportunities with local populations. Cheese, wheels, tactical advantage cheese, wheels, provided unique tactical advantages through their combination of complete nutrition, extreme durability, and transport efficiency that enabled flexible military operations impossible with perishable food sources. The concentrated protein and fat content meant individual cheese wheels could sustain warriors for weeks, allowing small units to operate independently without supply line support that would reveal their movements to enemy forces. Aging processes created protective rinds that enabled cheese transport through harsh environmental conditions, including extreme temperatures, humidity, and physical abuse that would destroy other food sources. Strategic value emerged from cheese's ability to improve with age rather than deteriorate, meaning armies could pre-position supplies months or years before campaigns while actually improving food quality. The substantial weight-to-nutrition ratio allowed cavalry units and scouts to carry extended duration supplies without compromising mobility or horse performance. Siege warfare particularly benefited from cheese supplies because the long storage life enabled defenders to outlast attackers who exhausted their provisions first. Trade value meant cheese could serve as currency for purchasing local cooperation, gathering intelligence, or securing passage through neutral territories. The production knowledge could be established in conquered territories, creating ongoing food production that supported long-term occupation forces without constant resupply. From home territories, medieval battle nutrition, medieval battle foods revolutionized military strategy by enabling armies to operate independently for extended periods, transforming warfare from short seasonal raids into sustained campaigns that could alter the balance of power across entire continents. Armies equipped with reliable food supplies could execute complex maneuvers impossible with short-duration provisions. Siege warfare became feasible on massive scales, allowing commanders to starve enemy fortifications while maintaining their own forces indefinitely. Psychological factors proved crucial. Soldiers confident in their food supplies maintained higher morale than armies facing uncertain nutrition. Victory often went to armies that solved logistics challenges rather than those with superior weapons or tactics. Medieval battle foods demonstrate how nutritional innovation shaped military history. By enabling armies to achieve strategic objectives impossible without reliable food systems, these preservation techniques represented sophisticated understanding of nutrition science, logistics, planning, and psychological warfare that modern military strategists still study for insights into maintaining fighting effectiveness during extended operations. The lessons remain relevant for modern emergency preparedness, outdoor activities, and understanding how food security influences political stability and military capability. Medieval armies that mastered food preservation gained decisive advantages that often determined historical outcomes. Through enhanced operational flexibility and sustained warrior performance, modern militaries continue using evolved versions of these medieval techniques, proving the enduring value of combining nutritional science with strategic thinking. The psychological aspects remain particularly important. Maintaining morale through familiar, satisfying food continues influencing military effectiveness across all modern armed forces. Subscribe for more medieval innovations that shaped our world. Discover how ancient wisdom continues influencing modern solutions in ways you never imagined.